Welcome everyone. It's 33. It's burning. But it's not Marvel. No, 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 no. It's not DC either. We're not burning any Star Wars. We're not doing no anime burning questions. Today, we burn water. It's Avatar the Way of Water live stream, asking the questions, hoping that you answer them. Joining me is multi-topic talk.
Hi there. Actually, how do we burn water?
I don't know, but it happened in the climax of that film. So if you paid attention, you probably could tell me. Let me know in the live chat. One of my questions is actually about that. Photon issue number 3 is about Planet of the Apes. Oh, didn't you write this to me already? Blackhead blocks. Yeah, we'll see what that's all about. Maybe just Marvel obtained the rights to Planet of the Apes, just like they have Predator in Alien, Star Wars. So maybe they're just like using. Here. This is a demonized variant of Monica Rambeau, and they're demonizing it over I think, the dark web, because that's topical, you know? Cole is in the building. He says to name 5 characters from Avatar. Impossible.
I agreed.
Cole, that brings us to our first question. Which name was worse? Netayem, Loak, Kiri, or Tuk? Come on now.
To be honest, Nataya,
Who's Nataya? Was that the girl he was dating on?
the guy, the oldest brother. I cannot remember his name.
We
For
didn't
most
need
of the time, I was like, "That's the older brother. That's the older brother."
He had a necklace on so we could tell him apart, right?
Yeah,
That was about it. That's all we knew.
that's all we knew.
Cole, if you want to join in on this game, come on. 5 characters, impossible. In my opinion, of all these 5 names, Netayem wasn't the worst. Anything we put an apostrophe in, I'm going to have beef with this. This is stealing from the Black Panther franchise, right, Cole? Netayem was a fine and dandy name. Kiri was a cool name. Only 4 letters, it's 2 syllables. We could figure that one out. Tuk, she wasn't that important anyway, and she had as many letters as her name was important. Tuk. It's really Loak. You can't put no apostrophe to separate 2 vowels and be okay with Chillmonger. What do you guys say about that one? Cole?
Yeah, I have to agree. Multi-topic thing. That's the worst name.
Nataya.
K-Dot, which name was worse? Netayem, Loak, Kiri, Tuk.
I don't think none of the names was bad, but I think more of them needed like nicknames. Like I think because these names, these are like formal, they're formal official names and stuff. Like 2 because easy to remember, 3 words. Kiri, obviously that's like a normal name, but Loak and Netayem, they're not bad names. They're just, I think they would have been better with like nicknames to have, like Low or something, or they should have had nicknames for the 2 sons. So you can identify them with something better. Like Spider, that's not his real name, but we call him Spider. That's kind of something easy to remember.
Netayem sounds the worst. Atreyu from the Never Ending Story is the best name. How do you say Atreyu? Is that it?
Atreyu.
Atreyu. Trinity's in the building. What's up, Trinity? Jump in if you want. You got the link, Trinity. Jaded Fanboy, which one of these names is the worst? Pronounce them all.
Oh, Jada hated all of them. Go ahead, Jada.
I can't do the first one. Loak, Kiri, or Tuk.
I guess by that.
I'd have to say Tuk is the worst. It's just such a stupid name.
Have you ever used I see you in real life?
Oh, yeah, I have.
Yeah, whenever I played hide and seek with my little kid, I see you. It's not that hard.
When the little grower needs a show, I'd let him know I see you. I see you.
Cole, top that answer.
I've said it before when repeating the title of a film called that. Besides that,
no,
I'd use similar reasons.
For Cole,
but
whenever one of whenever his kidnapped bees tries to escape and hide, he goes, "I see you."
No, I
I
usually
see
just
you
say, "I'll
hiding in the
remember you."
corner. Don't worry. I'll get to you in a second. Don't worry.
I see you. Let me finish this person over here. I'll get to you in a second.
Yeah, just take a number, relax.
I'll remember your face. That's usually what I say.
Multi, do you say I see you? Have you ever tried doing it? Were you speaking about the movie and it just came up in a conversation? I see you. Is it the new Wakanda Forever? Is it the new hand sign? Is it the You Can't See Me John Cena? Have they made it into real life?
No, it's not natural. I didn't. No.
That
Question
was
2.
funny. Is it the new Wakanda Forever? Oh my god.
Would you recommend
Oh,
seeing this
God.
film in 3D?
It's
Yes.
probably only good 3D films will ever exist. It's
Mhm.
literally the only good one. All the other 3D movies, there,
I would not.
they don't do it right.
recommend
This movie
watching
did it
this
right.
movie.
I thought I was gonna.
I'd say
I thought I was
yes,
gonna hate
'cause
this in
they-
3D. But
Yeah.
solid.
It was
I
great.
mean, back in this time, they actually tried on the 3D with films. Nowadays, they just slap it on without any effort, so you can't even like notice it. But around this time and like that, what was that Brendan Fraser film, like Journey or something? Like they
Journey
did a
Journey
good
to
job
the
with
End
the
of the
3D
Earth.
and that stuff. Yeah, they did a good job with the 3D in those because that's when they were actually trying with the effect.
Well, that was way back. Brendan Fraser of all people. There was
I
Spy
wouldn't-
Kids 3.
I wouldn't recommend seeing this film in 3D because you'll still end up having to see the movie. So it's
Yeah, I agree with you,
no
fanboy.
point.
You guys are
It's
terrible
better
people.
than Endgame.
And it's almost
Visually, yes, but
I think it was watchable, but it's not the kind of movie I would recommend.
But if you were telling somebody, hey, you should see this movie, and they go, oh, okay, I saw the commercial. It said to see it in IMAX or 3D. What should I do? Do you go, oh no, what you really need to do is
I
go
mean,
to 4DX.
I would still recommend standard, but in 3D, this movie's solid in 3D.
You'd
Like when
still
you
recommend
watch it in
standard.
3D, you don't even really notice it's in 3D. It feels like you're watching it standard, but you got the 3D glasses on. That's how good the 3D was.
A couple times in the movie, I was like lifting it up just to remind myself, yeah, okay, it's fuzzy and things are straightened when you put the glasses on. Then the 3D.
I was gonna do that, but I forgot, that they make the screen blurry on purpose. Well, it's blurry. You can't even watch it properly. Because I haven't watched 3D since what's that movie? Clash of the Titans, the sequel. That's the last movie I've seen in 3D.
Wrath of the Titans.
Wrath of the Titans. That's the last 3D movie I
Those terrible films. Like, what was the deal with that like guy as the lead in all those films back in those years? Like, he just came out of nowhere and just was the lead in films like that and Avatar, and then like disappeared.
oh, you mean kind of
was
like
just,
The
like,
Rock? They
corporate
just kind of
plan.
put him into movies that he shouldn't have been
Yeah,
in.
Was he just some
Sam-
like corporate
Sam
plan or
Worthington is
something?
an icon, Cole. Sam Worthington is.
Oh, well, I mean, he must be thanking his agent though for the Avatar film because now he's set for life with the future sequels and everything.
Is the planet Pandora or Eywa?
It's Pandora.
Yeah,
I
it's
say
Pandora.
Eywa.
Oh,
Eywa is the spirit of the mother. Eywa is Eywa is the equivalent of Gaia.
Huh?
Pandora is like Earth. Eywa is like Gaia.
They
Gaia.
refer to the planet as Eywa.
I think the whole planet might just be Eywa, because the way
Well,
that it operates.
They view it as two. Yeah, it's the same thing. Eywa is the spirit of the planet. So to them, that's almost interchangeable. When you're talking about Eywa,
Okay,
we're talking about Pandora. But the humans, they're going, oh, we're going to the planet Pandora. We're not going to the planet Eywa.
Never bring up that film again, Blockhead. What the? I mean, the only films I even see in 3D nowadays are if they automatically come with IMAX with no substitute.
Wait, I think we struck a nerve with the 3D. Like, that's a lot of 3D love. We've moved on to the next question. We're asking about Pandora or Eywa, Multi. Which
Pandora.
do you refer?
I'm with Jaded on that one.
Colonizers. It was called
Wait,
Eywa.
are you
I'm
asking this-
white.
or
What else
listen-
am I gonna be?
what's the answer you're kind of like? Could you name Pandora or Eywa? Like, what's the better name? Or
We mean, which do you refer to? Because I watched the entire
Oh,
movie from the
Pandora.
perspective of the natives, people who actually live there. And
Yeah.
so if they call it Eywa, I'm not going to refer to.
well, I
this
mean, they
thing as
never really said
Pandora.
the official. The humans, like Jada said, they call it Pandora because that's what they call it. We don't
Right.
know what the aliens, the
That's
Navi.
cool. You
call
got
it.
plans on Columbus Day too. I get it. It makes sense to me.
No,
Wait a minute.
they never said the official their own planet name. because they refer to their god as Eywa, and they call themselves the Navi people. So but we don't know their planet, what they call their planet specifically. They never like named that.
Hold
yet.
on.
You said that with
Killmonger,
such
you-
confidence. I'm just gonna take it as a
No,
fact. I may have missed
telling
it.
you,
Oh.
only the humans call it Pandora. The aliens never refer to it as Pandora. Just the humans.
So
Can't-
Killmonger, you don't want the name that the colonizers use. You want what the native people call it, right?
Exactly. You don't just get
What,
to be here.
what
and go,
country do you live in? What's the name of the country you live in?
you know, the colonizers stole the history and changed
And,
it.
and
so
what's
I-
the name
I-
of the country you live in?
Canada.
Yeah. Oh,
Good
okay.
old,
So
good old fashioned Canada.
taking
But
the
yo, I'll say this,
colonizer's
I
name.
think they-
What do you call the country that K-Dot lives in?
That's a
That's
United
not
States of America. He lives in San Francisco, which is definitely
So
not a
taking
Spanish.
the name of the colonizers as opposed to the natives.
Best country in the world.
Mhm.
Hey, it's wrong, and we can't stand it. I don't want to stand for it in real life or in fiction. We gotta put put a stand. Okay. What do
Chill,
the
I
Native
think
Americans call
personally,
America?
I think they do refer to it as Eywa, since Eywa is literally that's the planet. Like I watching the second movie, Eywa is the planet. It's a living planet.
What Sam Worthington films have you seen since 2009?
Terminator Salvation.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the majority of them, but the most recent beside Avatar would probably be that what was it, Hacksaw Ridge? He was the sergeant character in that.
I didn't watch his Netflix movie where he was he was being mutated into some weapon by the government. I didn't watch that one.
Avatar was the only one I've seen. So, or maybe I've seen others, but I don't remember.
Oh, you mean Transfusion? Is that called? Or...
I don't think the title was Transfusion, but I know which movie you're talking about.
I mean, I've seen most of his filmography. Like, he's been in a lot of mess stuff, Fractured, Everest, Man on a Ledge, Rogue, I don't know.
Onzo, you're on the stream.
What's up, guys?
You seen any
Hey,
Sam
man.
Worthington films lately?
I'd have to see what movies he's done.
Did you see Terminator Salvation? He starred in that.
Yeah, I seen Terminator Salvation.
He was in the Wrath of the Titans movie and the Clash of the Titans movie.
Seen all of those.
When I wrote
movies.
this question, I thought we'd all be sitting here laughing at how he hasn't been doing nothing for the last 14 years.
I mean, he been doing stuff. He as an actor, the biggest franchise he will be known for is Avatar. He's just not like nobody
hasn't
can
been
really.
acting for
He's not
14
popping
years?
enough to you really
Yeah.
identify him with other movies and stuff that he been.
Yeah,
in.
well, he really hasn't, though. Like, all these films were, like, in the Avatar years, like, 2008 to 2012. Then he kind of disappeared, and ever since, he just
I
been
wouldn't
kind
have
of, like,
noticed.
in
I didn't notice.
mediocre films.
I didn't notice that he disappeared. How's that?
Okay, so yes, the Avatar movies,
one
the
has.
Clash of the Titans, Hacksaw Ridge.
Hmm. Look at you, Cole.
Hearts War. He was in that one.
And if
Terminator
anything, I'll say
Salvation.
people
Not,
probably remember Liam Neeson more from the Clash of the Titans movie and not him.
No
Probably.
No, Liam Neeson was.
character. He was-
Yeah, you know.
Man, he played.
It wasn't a
Zeus.
David Ayer film, I believe, Sabotage.
We got some knowledge here. Turtle Island is a name for Earth or North America, used by some indigenous peoples as well as by some indigenous rights activists. There we go.
Oh, so we're sitting on a giant turtle.
That
planet
sounds
is
like
a
another
giant
Avatar. Are you into Jake and Neytiri love story? What love story?
I thought it was better this movie. I liked their dynamic and how they was ready to just go out there and save their family. Like it really felt like they was going straight up commando. I really liked that. They was very much united in what they was doing in this movie. When it came to the kids, they was in sync. They did what they needed to do.
That is not necessarily true.
Yeah.
Neytiri pretty much was going against most of the things that he wanted to do. When he wanted to leave, she was like, "No," you know what I mean. So they weren't.
She was against that.
She almost killed Spider, man.
Yeah. but she
And we were mad at her. Remember, we were mad she almost killed Spider, right? But Joe,
No, Enzo,
Were you happy?
it wasn't
were you,
until
were,
it wasn't
weren't you pleased she almost killed Spider? Didn't you go, you know what? But in this movie, I wish he would have died. Didn't you say that? You're not complaining.
I'm gonna say this with the Spider scene. I thought they were gonna do a little reverse when she tried to kill him. Spider would have went with his father and then told him all the secrets and switch sides. I thought they would have did something like that, but they didn't
that
do
would have
that.
pissed me off if they did that. I'm glad they didn't.
actually,
I would have liked
I was
that.
about to be pissed. Like, bruh, you don't even know this man like that.
thinking back, I did like the Jake and Neytiri love story because once Jake started to raise his hand as the man, she stepped into line and she knew her place. So yeah, I do appreciate the love
Yo,
story.
100%. That's what I was just about to say. She let him take the lead in a lot of the things that he said,
And she
even
sat
though she
back
didn't
and
agree
goes,
with
I'm the
him.
woman. I'll let him do what needs to be
She
done.
let him be a man. Absolutely, 100%.
Best love story in the in cinema.
Guys, stop. We got to talk this through.
I think their love story is a good. It's solid.
I think
I'm still scared. That first movie, like I say, I'm still kind of iffy about that. I still don't think
needed more hair scenes.
I still don't think Neytiri should have took him after what he ended up causing in the first movie. But whatever,
You make a good point there.
I like the performances and characters kind of, but the actual story, I mean, it like kind of all she did in the second film was just cry. That's like her whole character. It's like and then
Scream,
fight.
cry,
Like,
and
she was
to
going
kill
there
people.
talking
and
about.
kill.
I mean, she was not in
Yeah.
the movie as much. I agree, but she did her thing.
No.
When she
Good
had to
performance, just
towards
didn't
the
do
end,
much.
when she went to war, they showed how much of a warrior she was. She destroyed some of those dudes in some scenes in that movie. I was like, yo, that was some badass shit. Oh, sorry for language. That was some good stuff, But
Yes, that's some dandy work right there. That's some skill for archery. It's not that hard. You just don't swear. I'm kidding. I'm playing with Jonzo. I actually don't care about the swearing that much. It's more so Mike because he puts this on in the store. Maybe he's not doing this week though because we're not doing a Marvel questions.
yeah, but I still try to keep it for your stream, you know what I mean? Out of respect. So.
Gotta
I
keep
mean, but
shit
if he
on.
was doing a DC one, Mike wouldn't let a DC
Keep
stream
it
be
PG.
in his store.
We got to do it every once in a while, so then he'll show up in the stream and yell at everybody for swearing on.
The next question of 33 burning Avatar, The Way of Water questions. What happens if you don't hunt or don't contribute? They never really got to that. It was just a whole bunch
kicked out.
You get left behind. I mean, if you don't do your part, you out.
You kicked out. Yeah, it's
You get kicked out. You gotta do your part. That's why the leader of the water tribe, he told him like, you guys are useless. You guys are forest people. Your skills are useless here. But it's
called them babies.
Yeah, called them babies. But he said if you can pull your weight quick enough, we cool with us. Just pull your weight, do your part.
You go hungry?
Yeah, you go hungry.
So I guess there's
kind of
different.
like a crocodile pack.
Is that right? Do crocodile packs have their different?
Yeah.
positions?
If you don't do any work, they'll just like kill you. Actually, like rip your jaw.
Because I know there's probably like a security right outside of where they live, like just a little perimeter of guys who watch out, make sure none of those like dangerous beasts step into the territory to protect the kids who live inside. You know that there's going to be some fishing people who are in the water getting some fish, and they're not just getting enough for themselves. They're getting enough for everyone because you got to feed the people who are doing security on the perimeter. There's people who like, I don't know, the clothing that you wear needs to be created, right? So who's knitting it? And those are probably people who are too old to do those physical
clothing. They wear underwear all the time, man.
It's not that much. But look how big they are. No, you know how tall they are? That's a lot of thread. Huh?
I think with them, it's more of they're raised that way, so that mentality is just exists within them. They don't think about I don't want to hunt or I don't want to contribute. I just want to be on their own. Because if you have that mentality, I'd say you'd not want to be part of the tribe in the first place. So they wouldn't even have to kick you out. You'd want to leave on your own. Because
you think they kick you out if you were a vegan? No, we can't. These animals are lives and we can't eat them. What happens then?
Eat the
Nothing-
bait. Eat the
Yeah,
bait.
baits.
Yeah, because
Nothing
I
with
mean,
a face.
these are they're all the tribes on this planet. I mean, they're all hunter gatherer tribes. So that's that's just what it is to it. Hunter and gatherer tribes. Like if you don't pull your weight, you know you are going to get scolded for it. You're going to get scolded for it if you don't pull your weight. Like doing the hunting.
They can still contribute without hunting and still be.
Yeah, I'm just using that as an example. If you don't do your part in a hunter gathering society, like gardening,
What good are you to the tribe?
yeah, you're going to get scolded, regardless, or you might get kicked out. It's whichever.
Did everyone touch on this? What happens if you don't contribute?
You're kicked out.
They're kicked out. Yeah, I think you don't eat whatever, because I think when he was like, "You guys got to hold your own weight," it's like if you don't, then you're not worthy of.
Yeah, because we're not feeding you just because you're here.
Yeah,
What's
we're
that?
not worthy.
The Metakayan people. That's what their tribe name was.
Hey, there you go. So you watched this twice, didn't you?
On
How
purpose?
did you watch 3 hours twice?
Actually, 3
You're
times.
brave, man.
Nice.
3 times.
You seen it 3
Navi.
times?
It's a better watch than the first movie. That first movie,
I
I
agree.
agree with that.
way better
It
watch
was
than the
better
first.
than the first.
The only problem I have with it is the middle half of the movie is pretty much a rehash of the first movie, though. That's my only issue.
No,
I mean,
really?
middle half is just a lot of like.
I
world
think
building type
I'd
stuff.
remove 1 hour easy. Pacing wise, it was bad. The last hour was great, but
Mhm.
pacing wise, it wasn't great.
I love the repeating storylines; those are great. Mhm.
Yeah, that's pretty much
I
what it
love
was.
movies that are considered filler. It's great. It's just one
Yeah.
of the highlights of cinema.
To me, all of the slow panning around, I would shave like 5 minutes of just, hey, let's appreciate the quality cinematography effects. I would just be like, you know what? Give us the movie. It looked good. You don't need to slow down so that we can see Took swimming. Oh, I'm touching the. You don't need
But
that.
I mean, okay, like them learning, because if you go back to the first movie, Jake learning, it was more of a montage where they sped through it. They slowed it down too much for Lowak in them, and I think they could just sped it up again like they did in the first movie. Because Jake's training, it kind of is a montage. They don't gloss over all of it, but it was a montage in a sense.
Spoiler King's in the building. Hello. He said hello.
I.
Oh, hello.
God,
How are
they're so
you,
rude.
spoiler?
I'm sorry. I apologize for their ignoring your words.
All that panoramic thing was because James Cameron saw 2001 before he directed and goes, "I can do what Stanley Kubrick did."
They're basically werecats.
You know, James got to one up everybody. You know, he
didn't. He
saw
didn't.
he saw Aquaman, got jealous, like, man, I'm gonna make a better underwater world.
He said I'm the better James.
Hey, that's what he said. That's what I'm talking. That's his words from his mouth. He said he wanted to do something better than Aquaman.
Yep. He said he's
Just
Aqua
saying.
James.
That's what James Gunn said. He wanted to do something better. That's what he said. I'm not agreeing with it.
Well, maybe.
That's what
Well,
he
he can still try. He's got what 6 more tries, so he can try then.
Are the Navi primitive?
Yes.
Yes.
They're super primitive.
Yeah.
I think so.
Ew.
They're not completely clueless, but they are primitive. Super
They
primitive.
use bow and arrow, I mean.
It works.
They worship a tree spirit. I mean, come on.
Okay. Is this a bad thing? Can we say it's not bad?
It's
No,
not
it's
bad.
not- I mean-
It's not bad. I'm just saying it's primitive.
Okay.
If if things didn't play out the way they did and Jake never like joined the tribe and let them, let's say, they did push back the humans by themselves and Jake wasn't leading them. If they came back again, they're screwed because they don't have the tactics Jake has to counter them.
But they didn't need that in the first movie.
Now they held their own without Jake. They don't need Jake.
Now
They didn't need Jake because the planet basically had all of the animals go up against the humans. It wasn't
they needed Jake. Jake brought the tribes together. One, he knows the military tactics. I mean, he fought with them. He knows.
Why? Even though Jake brought all the tribes together, the army was still kicking their ass. It wasn't until all the animals showed up and started overrunning.
I'm not disagreeing. They needed the animals come and give them more support. But okay, look at when this movie started and it was raiding the train. For one, they didn't know how to use guns. Jake taught them how to use guns.
Right.
They
Okay.
they
No,
was
I'm not
raiding
arguing
rocket
that.
launchers, all
Why
that stuff.
does
Like
Shark?
Jake is a big reason why those raids they was doing was so successful because he knows his own.
The raids were successful because they weren't being being fought back against. Nobody on the.
Yeah, but you have to you can't just do it. You have to strategize. You have to strategize that stuff. You can't just do it.
Oh,
Like
I
if Navi
agree,
didn't have
but-
they couldn't just do what he's doing.
Well, I know K-Dot, but I'm saying I want to give the Navi some credit. I mean, they were
I'm not
still
taking-
hunters
I'm not
on their
taking full
own. I
credit.
mean,
I'm
it's not
just-
like
Can
if
we
it
say
wasn't for
Jake?
Jake, they
the
would have fallen
Navi. The
apart.
Navi in total, sure. Jake is one guy. I can't, and he's a human, not a
But,
real Navi.
I
So
mean,
with-
but
they
we have
would
to remember
have-
Quatric specifically wanted to kill Jake because if you take out Jake,
yeah,
that's like, if you take out
Yeah,
Jake,
but
majority of
if
these
you watch the
people-
first one, like I did recently, he tells them that these guys are hard to kill even before Jake got there, right? So they were already having a problem with with the Navi.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing that the Navi can hold their own. They can't, but having Jake is a huge advantage for them.
In this movie, they were about to give up on the kids, and the shark saved them, and the shark destroyed the boat. So the Navi, they may be hard to kill, but there's no way they can really on their own without the help of nature. There's no way they could beat technology like that.
first of all,
They
thank
don't
you to
need
Rhea
Lord.
because Rhea just tweeted a link and I just bumped up to like how many viewers are watching now? It says 15 right now. Thank you, Rhea. 16. The people in the live chat are speaking. Primitive in relation to what? I would just say
That's
when you
what I was
compare
going to
them,
ask.
we got the humans there with all these weapons, and it's proven
Primitive
that
to
you
the
can
humans,
do all
yeah.
this science stuff on the planet. It's not like, if things get too hot, it'll explode in your face because there's too much oxygen in the horizon. It's nothing like that. You can really, if you wanted to put some thought into it, have metallic walls and all that stuff, and they're just like tree people or beach people. So they're
And
primitive.
Here's a question.
If you were to flip it with the people keep underestimating the planet because now that they went to the water territory, they totally underestimated the those giant whales. Like we saw what one of them did, the one that was kicked out, that was banished. We saw what he
Destroyed
did.
the boat. He killed everyone by himself.
So here's a question: the humans don't come. Are they still primitive?
Yeah, they're still.
Yes.
And from our perspective, they're primitive.
Yes.
From our perspective.
Yeah, because I'm still a human watching, so I think that's primitive of them.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, when they invent indoor plumbing, then I'll say they're not as primitive.
You don't have an answer to that question. How do they
when
go?
they have
as long as you got some
clothes.
tissue, where you go don't matter. As long as you got something to wipe with, where you go don't matter.
Yeah, unless it's called poison ivy, then you don't want to wipe with that.
And then Richado says the Navi can only be considered primitive if you compare their technology to humans.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I asked
Yeah.
if the humans don't come there, are they primitive? If
Yeah,
there's
but
no
even-
humans on the planet and it's just the Navi there and the other tribes, are they primitive?
No.
But that's not fair though, because us as the viewers will see them and go, even if there were no humans.
But
We as
we're
the
not
viewer
talking
would
us
go-
as the viewers. We're talking
Yeah.
about in the whole universe, right? That's what we're talking about. Take yourself as the viewer out in that universe. If there's no humans on that planet and it's just them, are they primitive?
No.
They have not reached. Then we're primitive. Just in real life, then human beings, we're primitive because there's so much things we haven't invented yet. Our travel in space isn't what it could be, and probably will be in a few
No,
years.
it's fine. Elon will do it soon.
Okay, but you're creating it in a vacuum. So then, if that's the case, then define what advanced means.
We're more advanced than we were 300 years ago.
Right. But we've advanced.
It's based off time because, like, okay, let's say 10,000 years later in the future on the Navi planet Pandora, let's say the Navi start driving cars now. The Navi driving cars then will say to the Navi back in the day
Then that they
"Yeah,
were
both rails
primitive.
and stuff. Wow, we got guns and stuff. No, we don't have guns. We have drones that shoot things for us. We're way more advanced. So they would consider themselves back in the day primitive. But at the moment, since they all are pretty much doing the same thing, they're not going to call each other primitive based off, oh, you just use bows and arrows. Like all of them use bows and arrows and stuff. They can't call each other primitive based off that.
Or as an example, the the Navi that live by the ocean, whatever they're called, right? You have one tribe that figured out how to make and invent nets, while the other ones haven't. Well, the tribe that's invented the nets will look at the other Navi and go, "Oh my God, look how primitive they are. They haven't even figured out how nets work."
Well, the advanced people killed a whale, didn't use it for food, just took a tiny piece of it, then dumped the rest. Kind of like we do in rhino and elephants on Earth when it comes to that ivory. Good point there.
That was a whole whale wasted, man. That could have been some good.
But they didn't kill the whale for the food. They killed the whale for the actual thing that they needed.
Yeah, I know, but that's
from a colonialism view. They're primitives, and if plumbing is considered not primitive, Europe was primitive for a long time.
Yes, Europe was primitive for a long time.
That's true. Thank you.
Whereas the Romans were considered. That's why the Romans were considered advanced during their time period, because they had aqueducts and indoor and plumbing and all that stuff. But they were still primitive compared to us today. But during that time period, same thing with the Egyptians.
You see the question here that I've had on, just waiting for you to end because it's the next one.
Sorry. You keep bringing up comments, so I'm just.
Why could Kiri swim so well?
Because she's half human. Maybe that's why she also had a seizure when she tried to connect with the planet.
You think there's benefits to being human side?
Well, no, I think one for sure is definitely her connection to Eywa, her more than likely being Eywa's daughter, and also if Kiri and Tuk learned to swim better than Lowak and Netayem, they were swimming good before them. So I think just them as Kiri and Tuk, they just was better swimmers than Netayem and Lowak.
So genetically, maybe. Well, we know.
I'm not saying genetically. Like they, it's also mental too. Like they were just able to set themselves up to do it a lot better. Like they just did it. Sometimes people are just natural at stuff.
No, because she's a Mary Sue.
Well,
that's just genetics.
Mary Sue.
She's a Mary Sue. But yeah, I mean that's what Kiri and Tuk was better swimmers. Netayem and Lowak, they took extra time for them. Like Lowak, he had to learn. It took him longer to learn how to breathe underwater properly.
But he also learned how to speak to fish faster than everybody else.
Onzo, why could Kiri swim so well?
Because she's the Anakin of this universe. She was born out of the midichlorians. So I don't know, man. I think like Kira said, she has a connection to Eywa. She has a connection to it. We still don't know how she was born yet, right?
Yeah.
So maybe when we find that out, we'll get more information about her.
I'm sorry, I'm questioning her lung capacity.
Well, if you remember when she went underwater, like the animal, they was all Lowak and them they had to like earn the trust. That animal came right to her. And
all of that. Yeah. Every little creature under the water was drawn to her.
Well, the first thing she does and proves to us is she can hold her breath for so long. What is she doing when she's alone with Spider? Question number 10. What real life item do you wish that you could synchronize your hair with and just plug in? For me, it's got to be these headphones. You never have to carry them. You just be like, I can hear anything I want to hear. Synchronicity.
I'll pass. My answer is not appropriate for this.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I can give my answer, but this is kind of a family-friendly.
I'm so innocent. I still don't know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna give my answer because I'm not afraid to say it. I'll keep it PG. Some people of the opposite sex.
Some people of the
opposite. I won't say names of.
Hold on, but
what guys are talking about?
So not the hair on your head, the hair elsewhere.
And what part of the anatomy would you attach your hair to, K-Dot?
Well, if they don't have a ponytail, they do have other entry points.
That's what I'm saying. I'm curious.
Okay.
We will make it work.
He's like, it's too much for me.
Go cancel me.
We will make it work.
My computer.
Jill, considering who you have on as guest, how did you not see that answer coming?
I told you I'm innocent. I never thought that way. Mike Porter says that Kiri could swim good because the writers wanted her to. There we go.
Good point.
Just think of it. Just think of it as the one of 1,000 plot holes in this movie. That's all.
Kiri is 14. No. We were talking about hair. The prior question was about Kiri. This question is just what.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we can handle this one.
That
Number
really
11.
walked into that though.
That's
Fuck.
control.
True or false?
False.
That arm losing was too graphic. It's false
False.
There was no blood, bruh.
because
Yeah,
it's
I
such a
can't
clean-
remember.
No blood splattered out.
I don't recall the
Almost
arm.
too graphic.
Neither
But
do
it's
I.
going on the boat.
when the Tulkan was actually taking care of the hunters, and they use like a
Oh,
big cable.
yeah. Okay, yeah.
Arm got
Yeah.
So when you're
Black
tall
Adam?
enough, I don't
no.
have
Remember
sympathy
Black
for
Adam?
you.
He took
When
off
I
the
see
dude's
you for
arm,
the
there was
last
no blood.
hour just hating on these native people and doing your best to destroy them, yeah, it's about time you lost your arm. You should have lost your neck also. I don't care.
No, I don't think it. I don't think the way it was depicted was too graphic. I mean, it was
It
meant to
wasn't.
be
Yeah, it wasn't graphic.
not shocking, but it was meant to be impactful. But I wouldn't say graphic. No.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say graphic either.
He deserves it. I mean,
Now, if
False.
a bunch of blood splattered out of it,
That's
then
a
it gets
false.
graphic.
I mean, if
100%
they
false.
if they did it like if they did it like in RoboCop, that's different. But I mean, they didn't do it. They didn't go that far. So it's like,
Yeah.
Cole, you said yeah. You said false also.
Yeah, like, and if you're trying to get a lower rating and you still want to show something there, then that's how you do it on like those baby MCU films.
Number 12, Cole, true or false? Having 2 extra fingers helps with the swimming. It's got to help. Yeah, true.
False.
why?
I mean,
Because there's more things,
depends.
more space. There's more. Like if you have a bigger paddle, that's how it works. You'll swim.
But the Netayem people had like.
Well, it depends how
They
it's
had
like
that.
shaped.
That's for sure. But at least the extra fingers assisted with the learning curve. Yeah, Cole. At least
I don't
what?
think them having 5 hands changes anything.
I think
Yeah,
it
just
depends on the
depends.
size
Racist
of the
to them
end
'cause they're
and
5
the number of finger.
Yeah.
Like if they have bigger finger, that's not really a factor. But if the finger are the same size, it does help.
It really just depends.
I mean, webbed fingers, yeah, but just having 2 extra fingers, I don't really see how that.
They need to be the same size to make it true.
I'm gonna go with false.
Snakes are great swimmers and have no fingers. Is that right? Yeah, the more you know.
Snakes are cheaters. They cheat.
Eels. You know what? You know what? Fish also don't have fingers, and apparently, I hear that they're good swimmers too.
Number 13. Disney owes James
Definitely
Cameron.
true.
Oh yes! Oh God,
True.
yes!
They owe everyone.
God,
Mhm.
yes!
You know what? Give it.
They owe the Russo brothers. They owe James Cameron.
They owe their
Yeah,
souls.
when Avatar 3 makes $3 billion, oh yeah, James is gonna be like,
It's
well,
not gonna
2
be
more
fun.
movies, I can buy Disney someday. He's going for it. He's trying to run.
Yeah.
He's trying to run the Walt Disney Company.
I don't know about the 3 billion mark, but it'll get to maybe I don't know billion
In a week.
0.3 billion 0.4.
It's only
You know what I mean?
50 million away from reaching that billion, and it did 30 million
Wait,
domestically
isn't it,
last.
didn't it already pass up No Way Home?
Yeah, passed my
Yes.
way home already. Yeah.
Yeah, because it crossed 1.9, so it's gonna
Yeah.
reach 2 billion on Sunday. What's going on,
No,
Rhea?
good for
She
that.
says,
Good for
"Happy
that, Rhea."
Saturday, y'all! Be sure to smash the like button. Thank you for reminding me to remind all the 14 of you to smash the like button. That helps me. That gets me out there. It means that you'll probably get this video recommended to you next Saturday. Also, if you keep letting YouTube know that we are making things happen every week on Saturdays, burning Avatar questions. Mike says med. Mike says, then a sun swarm of Free Willy. Then a sun. What do you mean? And G.I. Joe were involved too. What does he mean by that? I don't get it.
I don't get it.
If Avatar had Tobey Maguire cameo as Spider-Man, it'd make an extra $4 billion. Yo, look, this is true. Disney does owe James Cameron.
Oh, yeah.
Easy. They're having a rough year with the Lightyear stuff, with the Star Wars, Marvel. True or false? They have Navi divorce. I don't think they do, man. This is false. I think like once you become
False.
your soulmate, it's so spiritual, and like
It's-
Eywa
it's-
is
it's
responsible.
forever.
This is
Divorce
false.
is jumping off a cliff for them.
I think in their society, because I mean most people do this. Like, let's say for example, one of the Navi men or women cheat on their spouse. They'll be quick. They'll be quick to work it out more so than just like let's just kill it, because like they're supposed to, once they're bonded, they're bonded.
Don't get beat.
I think their divorce is a lot more. I think their divorce is a lot more final.
Could be, yeah.
Did they do it like the some Asian country? I can't remember which one. Did they murder their other half if they divorced?
I don't see Neytiri being all that forgiving if Jake were to cheat on her. I don't see Neytiri being that.
No, once they're together, they're together for life. They say that in the first movie.
Well,
So
they say that
as-
at wedding ever.
What? At every wedding, it's like, oh yeah, we plan to stay together till death do us part.
Sitting
That
together
doesn't happen
without
either.
Rich or
Talking about
poor.
Navi, though.
You
But-
can say
don't
whatever
talking
you
about you.
want.
But the way they did it, because in the first movie they hooked up to Eywa, then they had their little thing, and then they hooked up because Neytiri said it. They had it before Eywa. Theirs is a little different, and once they did that, she said they're bonded, regardless of anything. So it was bonded.
What? That comment is weird. The woke Navy divorce.
Hey, they're bonded to their mates the same way they're bonded to their horse. I mean, come on, please.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, how
think
important
we're
is
getting
that
a
bonding
little-
thing if everyone gets it? 15.
Hey, with the horses, that's a little
They
different.
bond with the horse. They bond with the banshee. I forget what the Navi called them.
Yeah.
They bond with everything. It's just their connection to the other person. It's just the way they do things. So I don't think being bonded to another Navi is any different than being bonded to anything else.
They use the word bro way too much. You watched it 3 times, K. Dot. In my first viewing, I didn't notice it. I did in the second. Did you notice it?
I would say false. I was okay with it.
False.
It-
I didn't
it-
know.
I'm using family too much.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. I imagine the way because they was cursing and stuff. They was cursing. I mean, being around Jake and being around Spider and the other humans, where they grew up around the other humans, they're going to adopt those habits. They do act more human than they do Navi, anyways. Jake's kids.
And what do you say, jaded fanboy? True or false? They use
Oh, I
bro
say
too much.
true. I think they use bro too much. I think it was trying to be. They were trying to. Again, it was like not against James Cameron, but it was a way of trying to say that they were being more humanized. So to do that, they just kept using the word bro because it was an easy way of doing it. So yeah, I think.
Kenny Price is being a bro, a super bro with the super chat. I appreciate you, Ken. You don't got to keep doing this, but you are definitely showing respect and love monetarily on this YouTube channel. I appreciate you, Kenny. Blackhead Block says Samuel L. Jackson uses MF too much. True.
Depending on
Mike-
the movie.
He
Mike
doesn't
says-
use it enough in the MCU. The MCU is kind of trash for not letting him use MF.
Okay, that, please.
My light spoilers for Avatar 2. The Sullys was tired of the busy forest, so they went to Club Med. Then the sun swam with Free Willy, and G.I. Joes were involved. You and your dad jokes.
Yeah.
You
That
say
is
that
a-
it's true they use the word bro too much.
wild
I'm going to
film.
say that it's false that they use the word bro too much because I didn't notice it the first time. I
okay.
only noticed it when I saw the memes draw attention to it. And then in my second viewing, I go, oh, yeah, this was a lot of bros talk. So, yeah.
I didn't.
Actually, maybe I should say true.
It did. It did. I'm not gonna lie. It did come off a little too much, but I didn't like annoy me. But I understood why they kept talking like that. Like bro.
Yeah, no, they used it too much, but that one didn't annoy me. It was other words they used too much that annoyed me.
I didn't notice, so I'd have to watch it again. I didn't notice it.
All right, so, you know, it's not
Again,
everyone
they said
says true.
family way too much.
16 Onzo, true or false? That extra dip in the water was unnecessary.
True.
Wait.
Pacing, man. The pacing.
You remember
that stuff.
when she just was like, swimming up, the camera stayed on her.
Oh,
That's
when the
fine.
girl. Oh,
Natayem's girl. What's her name?
Glock's girlfriend.
Yeah.
His lady? Oh, she did.
I don't
No,
remember.
because when she did that on purpose for her man. She knew, like, yo, she was trying to get a little,
Attention.
She was trying to look good for him.
She's like, I need to moisturize.
She didn't do nothing wrong. She was trying to look good for a man. Don't hate on her. She was trying to look good for a man. True, it was very necessary. You know, she was trying to make herself available. She did what she did correctly. She did what she was supposed to do. Her part.
I'll go with K-Dot.
She did her part.
This is true. The extra dip was unnecessary. Multi.
That's true, man. Too much dip.
Cole, was there true or false that extra dip into the water was an unnecessary dip?
Yeah, well, a lot of things in this film were unnecessary, but yes.
I would go with that.
Jaded fanboy.
I have to say yes, but I also have to agree with K-Dot going. She was doing what she needed for her man, so I have to.
I think the truths have taken it. It's kind of like Black Widow butt shots constantly. You know what?
No, those are always necessary. I have.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
agree
was
with that.
necessary.
What are you
Necessary.
constantly
It's Black
talking
Widow,
Yeah,
about?
that was
man.
for the plot.
That's Black
Like
Widow.
all the close-ups of Wonder Woman's legs and butt shots. Yeah, those are always necessary.
17 is true or
agree.
false?
True.
Hold on, guys. James Cameron is guilty of appropriating culture. Chillmonger says false.
I say true.
Man.
Culture, it's made up.
I mean, I'm gonna have to go with false because okay, let's say false. Because if this was like a movie about actual like Native American people, not saying someone who's white can do like a Native, anyone can, as long as you do your proper research and you know have some care with the property you're doing. Then yes, but you know it's like blue people. He's borrowing yes from cultures. He's borrowing for sure. He's doing
Appropriating it.
He's doing what every creator does, and they're borrowing.
Appropriating it. Now you're gonna have a whole bunch of people that never knew really about dreads before. They're gonna be like, "Oh, look at this hairstyle. Look at this. Yeah,
Is that a
we can do this
reflection of
now."
their ignorance?
You know what I mean?
It's their fault. They
You know
need to
what I
read a
mean?
book.
Every freaking buddy in the movie had dreads. You watch the first one, the hair's not like that. The second one, everybody has dreads. Even the white boys running around with dreads. I'm like, yo, what the hell's going on here?
He
What
is
am I watching
making
here?
a point there. He is making a point.
Yeah, his point is we're gonna take the Jamaican culture and put it on us, on the blue people.
That's what you guys
Appropriation.
get for rejecting Jar Jar.
I agree. I agree with Anzo. Only I was gonna take a different route. I was gonna because Chillmonger didn't specify which culture. James Cameron is guilty of appropriating cinematic culture and pretending that he's better than he actually is. So, yes, he has appropriated cinematic culture.
I think you can
Good
look
point.
if you're Samoan, you can say that they kind of borrowed from you instead of saying Uso, they use bro. I think that if you look at it from a native kind of Pinocchio, standpoint, they basically did Pinocchio in space. There's a lot that they copied. If you look at hairstyles, you can say it was black culture.
For Pinocchio in
Right.
space?
Yeah, I've heard of Pinocchio in space. You guys never heard that one?
No.
I'm on the wrong
Any
message boards.
culture,
I never heard of that.
it's just made up. I mean, there's inspirations. Okay, I'll say the music though. He definitely screwed up because he basically took that from actual tribes, and not only that, but then just like mixed it up with a bunch of junk because he thought it sounded weird, just because it was weird to his ears because he's never heard it before, and he screwed that up. So I'll agree with like the music wise, but everything else, it's like.
I can guarantee
No,
you, James Cameron met his first dread before he started making this movie and was like, "Oh my God, I love your hair." And then when he was looking for a hairstyle, he said, "You know what? I remember that black dude I seen with the long hair there. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do."
Wait a minute. You think James Cameron has never seen anybody wearing dreads until before he made this movie?
Yup.
First time.
In
Yeah.
2009, they had a whole different catering over at that movie. Now they have spicy Jamaican beef patties and it's all love.
Facts.
A majority group has
Listening
to
to reggae
adapt
music.
cultural elements of a smaller culture in a disrespectful way. I don't know if he's being disrespectful, and he's certainly not a majority group either. To me, if I look at the hair issue, I said this on K-Dot's channel, but like, what ownership does he not have over creating a character with that sort of hair? Like stiff hair that can turn into dreads. No one owns that.
Yeah,
That's
like if,
free.
if like I said, for me, if these was real, like real people, like real people, that's a totally different story. But these is fictional blue motherfuckers and stuff.
Fictional.
I mean, these people could have freaking
So
pompadours for all.
So what's your excuse for the white dude that had the dreads? Because he wasn't blue.
I mean, I wasn't tripping.
That's
off
a
that.
good
Okay,
weird
No,
dreads.
but you're saying you're not saying it because they were blue, but he wasn't blue, and
He was trying to
running
fit
around
in.
with
No,
dreads.
because he was like, "How do I make my hair like Netayem?"
I mean,
like
personally,
Kiri.
I don't.
Kiri
I
will
don't
like me if I
see
do it.
dress is just like one.
Wait a minute.
Style.
Well,
Do I
Spoiler
have
King
to
says it's
say-
100% yes. The Water Tribe has taken actual Islander culture and made them blue, the way they talked and tattoos. Okay.
Do I have to state the obvious that they stole from Smurf culture? I mean, come on.
Pinocchio in outer space movie. Pinocchio
the
must
Smurfs are
prove.
better. The Smurfs are better.
Did I say Pinocchio or Pocahontas? I thought I should have said Pocahontas. My bad. I said Pinocchio.
Yeah, you
Blue,
did.
Blue Lives Matter. Number 18. True or false? It was obvious that Loak was passed out on the Tulkan whale and not washed up on shore. I knew that. The moment I saw that, I'm like, okay, now he's gonna burst. You know, when you exhale, I knew that he was not on an actual rock. He was definitely just passed out.
Oh
on-
yeah.
True.
Yeah, it's true.
That's true.
For a
Yeah.
second, it did look like he was on land, but once he stood up, yes, he's on the creature.
Jaded fanboy, is this true? It was obvious.
I honestly didn't pay attention. I was laughing too hard.
I also think there was a crazy plot armor on the guy because he lasted too long before the token came.
The kids had a lot of plot armor, but I'm glad.
Yeah,
one
he
of them-
did. I'll say that. I do agree with that. That plot armor was insane.
No.
That was crazy plot armor.
Oh,
Plot
man.
armor in a plot
I was
armor
like,
in an
you
Avatar
should have been
movie?
got, kid. You should have been got.
Cole, it's your turn. Are you gonna agree with Spoiler King? who says
Yeah,
that it's true?
definitely true. And but I really need like 50 more scenes of him swimming with the whale.
For real? You really need more?
Yeah, I need to keep repeating. Like every Avatar film, that's obviously the best way to go.
19. What would you do with that Tolkien brain fluid? You can live longer, right? It delays your age.
Use it.
I wouldn't take too much of it. I'm like Bulma in Dragon Ball Super. You don't want to be too obvious. You might take a little sip here and there, maybe moisturize it around your nose, but nothing to keep you alive for too long. Being alive for long, it's kind of depressing. Everyone you know is gonna die. That's bad. I don't want
It's
that.
unless you live a depressing life. You don't do like if you're like Logan, who's always fighting constantly and stuff. You can have a pretty depressing life. But if you're just a regular person and you've been using all your years to amass like a wealth, you move on from family to family, or you're just single, it won't be as bad.
Just
there's
sell
nothing
it.
you can do.
You sell it.
definitely
What was
for
it?
a
2
bag.
million an ounce? What was it? $2 million? Like what was it? $80 million an ounce?
You
What
said
do you
it.
do with it? You sell it to us. You sell it to you sell it to Mark Zuckerberg or Elon Musk.
No,
That's what
I-
you do with
I
it.
would
No,
take a little minor
you gotta
sip
keep it
also.
to-
I
you
would
gotta
sell
keep
it.
to yourself.
What'd you say?
You got to keep it to yourself. You can't be sharing your eternal youth.
But think of all the
Mhm.
money.
Yeah, but
Think
I
of
can
the
sell it.
Quality of life will be way better with all
And
that
everybody
money.
else got what I got, so it's not
Yeah,
as
I
valuable.
agree. I
anymore.
would sell
It's
it.
rare.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. If they go to Pandora to get it.
Nah, I don't want nobody else to have it.
Yeah.
I wanna
Listen,
be-
there's
I-
many
I
things
wanna
you
be
can
the only
do in
one
life.
living for a long time. I don't want everybody else to do it because it's gonna go with purpose.
There's many things you can do in life. People just don't do them because they don't have the time in their life to do everything. But if they did, then yeah, so it wouldn't be as boring to live for super long as you just plan it out, use it right. I mean, to a certain extent, yes, but
The value of being able to live forever is that eventually they might actually make a game, The Last of Us, finally playable. So
yeah, true.
Maybe the 10th one.
yeah, maybe the 10th.
After they
Yeah,
missed
maybe Neil
the
Druckmann will
shot.
actually come up with an original story.
Or if James Cameron is true to his past, that way you'll be able to see all 7 Avatar movies because there's like 14 years between each Avatar movie.
So the brain fluid Onzo, what would you do if you had some of that? You selling it? You're using some of it? What goes on?
I sell it.
Man, I'm selling that. You hear how much that stuff was worth? I'm selling it, hands down.
You know, if I
So-
was like 20 years old, I would love to slow my aging. If I was, just like a teenager, 15, 16, 17, 18. But nah, you gotta sell that. Like, life needs money. 20. How did you handle Sigourney Weaver playing a teen? Because that's
I did not
exactly
even
what
know
that
her.
was.
That's crazy. I did not know that was her.
Yeah,
Of course you know what I'm saying, but I did not realize that was her
Yeah.
playing a kid.
yeah.
Really?
I was basically, it was for me, it was like a bit of it was a surprise. It was a surprising shock. I did not know it was her until after the movie, and then I found out about it. It was cool,
Same
but
here.
I didn't.
Same here. I had
That
no
was
clue she was in
interesting.
the movie.
Oh, I guess
I
that was a
mean,
whack question,
Mm.
huh?
I mean, but
Things just went
I'll
really
say
quiet.
I'll say this: give props to the sound engineers that took her voice and made her sound younger and stuff.
Yeah, the
'Cause you can
technical
hear-
people
You
did a
can
good
hear
job.
Sigourney Weaver in there. You can obviously hear,
Mhm.
but her voice, she sounded like a teen. She sounded like a kid.
I did find it funny though, because they had to find a way to get the Colonel back, so they cloned him, and they had to find a way to get Sigourney Weaver back, so they just made her a
I
kid.
really wish they didn't bring back the villains. I thought they were the weakest aspect. I would have liked different
The
ones.
villains
but-
were bad.
Yeah, we could have done with the new villain, but I didn't dislike
Yeah.
it. We could have
I
done.
mean, I do like how
We
they kind
coulda
of bring
kept the
back
Colonel.
everyone.
I mean, but the Colonel's full of toxic masculinity, so he got to stay. Come on.
Jesus.
How is he full of toxic masculinity? What are you?
That was a toxic man. We need villains like that.
He was
Sigourney-
a
Bring back
toxic
everybody
man.
besides Michelle Rodriguez.
How?
He was a
The
toxic
mother
man,
of
and
Kiri.
he was a villain to animals. Look how he let that poor whale die. Evil man. Peter will be disappointed.
Oh, I give a rat's ass about it.
The emails have already been written. Oh, was her soul in the tree and then reborn into the blue people? Maybe that's the mystery. We don't know exactly what's going on.
James Cameron doesn't know. He doesn't know how.
She did good. The teenage attitude stuff was pretty good. I think she did a good job. I didn't really know though. I found out about it. I didn't even check actors and cast and stuff. I didn't watch the trailer too much. I just kind of went into this thing like, it just surprised me, and it was good. K.Trigger jaded. They need to bring in Greta and Wolfram for Avatar. That's what I'm talking about. They already got the skin.
I agree. Bring in Ezra, Ahsoka, combine it all. No, honestly,
The
Disney
one big giant mess. That's a good.
Disney should just do one big collab movie. Marvel, Star Wars, and Avatar. There's their biggest franchise
I
for
would
more than
throw up.
one collab movie. Do it. Might as well
No,
do it. Multiverse.
no.
Well, there is the multiverse, so there is no
No.
reason why not to.
Do not take any cues from K-Dot, please. Let's not do this.
Jaded Fanboy mentioned
is
is a
Disney just make more money. That's all I'm doing. That'll be a $5 billion movie. Let's do it.
They watch. Take these suggestions, Disney. How much of a time jump do you expect in the next film? You said 14 years, Jaded?
None.
No, I'm saying the length of time before the next Avatar movie is, but I say the time jump will be like a month.
You think it'll just be like that, huh?
Probably-
Well, yeah, because it literally left off with him going, "We're gonna take the fight to them." So I'd say like maybe a week or so of organizing, and then just like a little.
I'm gonna say 3 years because it came out that the son is he's gonna be narrating the story in the next movie.
Oh, okay.
We are talking about in the movie, right? Not in real life.
Yeah, in the movie
Okay,
time.
so in the movie,
Yeah.
I guess maybe a year. So we already start off with action. I think.
Yeah.
I think a year, because if you watch the beginning of this movie, they go through that little montage, and then it's a year after when the humans come. So I'm saying about another year, maybe 2 at the most.
There's just so much room for storytelling if you let some time pass. Just let me know that the characters are not in the same place as before, and you get rid of a lot of.
The first and second had a huge time gap. Huge.
About 10 years.
And the film addressed
Oh, yeah.
that
More
too.
than 10.
Yeah,
they
the film addressed it, yeah.
They addressed it.
Yeah,
But
I can't
I
wait
did-
for them to
that
just go
person
to
we did
another
it,
tribe.
We
Yeah,
will
no.
have the mountain tribe.
Yeah, the
You know,
fire
James,
tribe and then
James
the
said
air
it's a,
tribe.
it's a fire tribe. He's trying to outdo Avatar: The Last Airbender now. Watch his
He's
fire
gonna
tribe.
each
People
tribe.
like bend fire. They're gonna bend fire. I'm telling you, they're gonna shoot.
Yeah,
The
fire.
yes,
Snow
and they'll be
tribe.
racist to the other blue people for being darker blue. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
no, instead of the fire part of the planet or the ice part of the planet, they went through the forest, they went to the water. The next is going to be the mountains. Then the next one's going to be the desert Navi, just various different topographical land areas.
Few months only, super fast in universe, like 1 month.
Yeah,
They can't let that much time go because they need to handle Spider and his blue daddy.
yeah.
The
Me
next
and Spoiler
question.
King is like.
I think Spider's gonna be placed to an Avatar body. He's not
Did
gonna
you? Did everyone here expect this movie to be the 6th highest grossing film of all time? Because I didn't expect the
Yeah, of
6th
course.
highest. I knew it would do well. Not this well.
No, of course
Yeah,
I did.
I didn't think it would do well this fast.
I didn't
I
Like,
thought
it's
it
expect
making a
either.
lot of money fast. This is real quick.
Yeah.
I expected it to make $1 billion. I didn't expect it to make 2.
Yeah, I thought it would make like
What?
1.6 or 1.8 billion. I didn't
How?
expect like 2
With
billion.
the first, okay, so with the first one being the highest grossing movie of all time, right? And then we saw what Top Gun Maverick did. I was like, for sure, this movie is going to be one of the top grosses of all time. I
Oh,
expected
really?
it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I expected it.
I mean, I didn't think it.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting like no 2 billion. I was expecting like maybe 1.3.
That's the thing. Like again, 6th highest. I
2
mean, you
billion,
have
I
to
did
be
not
at
expect
least 2 billion, right? I
It
just
will
didn't
be.
expect it to make. I mean, after 14 years, Anzo, I figured the novelty of it. It was 3D. It was a really good version of it. I just figured it was more the novelty of it that made it.
Yeah, that's what I
No,
thought.
general
That's what I
audiences
thought
still
with
love
Top
it.
Gun Maverick too. I'm like, Top Gun Maverick was probably around the same amount of time before it came. I'm like, nobody's really gonna care about this
Yeah, no,
movie,
it's
and that
This is why
blew up.
social media is in real life, though. Like general audiences still loved it in real life. They were still hyped for it.
Frozen 2 made $1 billion. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
What?
Don't
Yeah.
look at the Lion
Hey,
King,
Jada,
please.
just let it
I'll
go.
throw up.
I can't believe Lion King is on this list. Yeah, that's crazy. 2019
Oh, no,
was a
whoa, whoa.
unique year.
Wait a minute. When they say the Lion King, do they mean the original one or the?
live action.
Don't know
No,
the
the
remake
Disney
made
one.
$1 billion.
The Disney one.
They were
Yes.
2019.
I want to throw up. Seeing
Not
that.
made $1,600,000.
Yeah.
wow. It's
Yeah, of
crazy.
course.
Highest
But of course,
grossing
but hold on.
animated film.
Why would you guys think it wouldn't? With the popularity of the cartoon, there was no way that movie wasn't making
Because
over
I thought
$1
some
billion.
people had standards.
Yeah,
guess
me
not.
too.
Yeah, but people still gotta watch it, and there's people that liked it. I liked it.
Kids, the kids got to go watch these.
You
movies.
liked it.
I did like it.
What?
Hey, I thought I
I
liked
liked it.
it. I didn't have I thought it was okay. I just didn't think it was $1.6 billion worth of movie.
I
That's
liked
it.
it.
I mean, it made me appreciate the original more of how trash it is, yeah.
It ain't trash.
I mean, I didn't watch Frozen 2. I seen the first one. I didn't watch the second.
Same. Avatar Scorcher 6 global meltdown. Mike says it surprised him a little bit. I'm sort of, this is my answer. It surprised me a little. I knew it would be over 1 billion, 0.2, like it would be a hit. Had a high expectations, but this thing is going to cross 2 billion, and who knows how much higher. This is unreal. Disney brought their own tickets like they did with Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
This is why Avatar 2 made $2 billion. I agree with you, Black. I agree with you.
James Cameron did, and I talked about this in my other stream. He basically he only cornered it to where it can only be in 3D. He had, for my theater specifically, he only had one showing for Dolby, which is standard but higher definition, and there was no standard showings. Everything was in 3D, so you had to watch in 3D. With 3D, the tickets
So it had a higher ticket price by default then.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so I'm I'm not saying all these movies they did. The Batman did it with the IMAX showings too, but he did kind of cornered it to where it can only be in 3D, which you get more sales with your tickets. But hey, that's just being smart with your money.
Don't have to be good to make money. Thoughts on
Yeah,
the MCU returning
that's
to
Marvel's
China.
motto.
Black Panther 2 and Ant-Man 3 going to China. To me, the Black
Yeah.
Panther 2 money has already been made. It's available if you wanted to see the movie and you're in China. So probably not going to gross that much. First movie made 105 million out of China, a Black Panther movie. So
People in China probably already VPN'd and watched it. Anyways,
That's what
watch
I
it
would
for
say.
free online bootleg.
And I also say that I made a bet with Philosophical Pickle that if this movie made 900 million, I'm eating grass. And so I guess this bet just got interesting. I still don't
I
think
thought
it'll
it was
cross.
$1 billion.
I brought it down. I was so confident. 900, I said.
Why'd you bring it
It'll
down?
cost 900 million.
Why'd you bring it?
It's
Chill.
at 830 right now.
Chill. You should have said $1 billion.
Yeah.
I did. That's why I started it. But okay.
So it's at
it's not
830.
crossing
So
it.
that means it just needs to make about 70 million in
Yeah,
China.
we're like in week number 9.
Yeah, but it just never came out in China, you know?
Yeah, that's the interesting
know-
part.
No, it had no
and-
competition for its whole time.
Wait, is it still going to Disney Plus February 1st, or is it only going to China? Is it still going to be in theaters? Because it said it's going to Disney Plus February 1st too.
Disney Plus everywhere else but China, maybe.
Hold on.
Betrayed.
To Rosales' comment. No, the one previous about you didn't have to be. Yeah, that's been the MCU model for like 10 years. So
You're such a jaded man. You really wanted to capitalize on that one, huh? Jaded fanboy.
I
is
would more
Norm-
say the Transformers than the MCU.
Oh yeah, then Transformers is a better
Transformers.
example.
They definitely.
Mhm.
Transformers is a way better example.
They say at Hailey Steinfeld.
Is no. Oh my gosh.
No, Norm is
No.
not Kiri's father.
No.
I mean,
Why would
Spider
he?
Spider did kind of have a point, you know. Every video he was in there close, getting close, looking
Well,
at her.
I did have a
turn away.
related question to that.
Why would it
Did they
be?
ever explain why he died or his human form? They never showed that.
No, they. Oh wait, they did show me.
I thought he was alive.
Well, no,
I
he
think
was
he's
in
still-
the last film. He was still alive as a human, but in this one he wasn't, and they never explained that part.
He wasn't in. Which one's Norm?
I
like the
think he was
scientist guy.
on one of the pods, and he came out as a human.
Isn't Norm the guy from the first movie that was a scientist that was with?
Yeah, he was a scientist.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was the one
Yeah,
that
he's
got
still alive.
jealous. He was the one that got jealous that Jake got to be part of the tribe, and isn't that Norm?
Maybe. I can't
Yeah, he's
remember
like
the
the
first one. To
skinny
be
nerd.
honest.
He was the
scientist guy.
scientist with the
He
glasses.
was the
that-
skinny nerd. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's still alive.
Well, no, not the human. He was like, wasn't he?
Well, Sean.
No,
I
they
think-
show him in avatar form, but it doesn't mean he wasn't alive. He could have just
Oh,
went in the pond.
They
like
still
he
had
did it,
those
yeah.
pods. And
Okay, so he's still alive as a human. Okay, because it's just the one guy still being a human with them when going there confused me. Like, oh, did his human form die? Or
Well, they only. Oh, so remember in the first movie, and there's a reason why they had to get Jake, because they spent so much money on those bodies. They can't just like everybody didn't have an avatar body specific.
It's connected to their neural system and
Yeah.
DNA.
So you know that's why they got Jake anyways in the first movie, because they spent so much money into his brother's body. His brother's dead. They're like, well, let's get his brother and hope that he can become.
Or they could have just made a clone of his brother, but that wouldn't.
They didn't have the technology yet. It took some time. Okay.
No, they
Norm?
had the technology 10 years ago.
Norm had no game.
I mean, yeah, they could have
It was
done
an
that. They could have
immaculate conception, which explains her connection to Pandora. Captain Marvel made more money than both Wonder Woman movies combined. That's like a weird stat to say. We know the situation with Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah, it wasn't all. It wasn't even in cinemas. It was only on.
Like Kiri for midichlorians.
oh yeah, he's not the father though. I mean, he might be MSK's, but
Does Jake Sully teach them about Earth holidays like Happy Birthday, Father's Day, Halloween, Easter?
No,
doubt it.
I don't think so.
I think only birthdays.
They probably
Oh my
don't celebrate them, but they know about Halloween, Christmas.
Now I'm thinking there's going to be an Avatar Christmas special like there was for the Guardians of the Galaxy. Where it's going to be a half-hour special of them and they're going to go to Earth to get Christmas.
Their underwear will be red.
Don't crap on the
Pong
Christmas
Pong.
special. It was good, man.
Okay, sure.
The Star Wars one was better.
Oh Lord,
Jaded hates happiness.
he does. He really does.
I like that Eric laughed at my question. Thanks, Eric. I try. That's right.
Wait, can I ask Jada, what Christmas specials do you like?
Christmas
Charlie
isn't
Brown
special.
Christmas specials. Like, name me a good Christmas special.
Like remember
Charlie Brown?
Remember?
Oh, okay. I did like the Charlie Brown Christmas special.
Did you like the Frosty movie? The
Oh yes, I did
motion
like
one?
Frosty. Those puppet animated.
Oh,
those
the stop
puppet-
motion ones. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I loved all of them. I loved all of those stop motion ones.
I think Jaded only became jaded when he turned an adult. Then he started hating everything.
No, I became jaded when movies and television decided to stop putting any effort into their storytelling.
Mm.
Good point. Good point.
The next comment here is from Rosales. Says, "Happy Giving Day, Kiri." Giving
Happy
Day.
Giving Day. Happy Life Day. Happy Life Day, Kiri.
He'll teach about the druidic solstice ritual instead of Christmas. Bruh, you read books. Spoiler King says he likes the first 5 minutes of the Christmas Carol when Scrooge fires
Scrooge.
everyone. Where Scrooge fires everyone.
No, I did like. I did like. Hey, this is.
The Grinch who stole Christmas.
Oh yes, the Grinch is
It's your favorite?
Other than the ending, the Grinch Who Stole Christmas was a great movie.
Yeah,
Just
figures.
the ending sucked. Whereas art went 3 times bigger. Blah blah blah.
See, Jay didn't like when he became.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
He was like, "Oh, why so ridiculous?" When he just becomes.
Jada said I would have burned all those toys.
I would have sold them.
shut up,
screw
No,
them
I
kids.
would have sold it back to them. That's what I would have.
You know, screw them kids.
Yeah.
Ain't my kids. I don't care.
You see?
Who else, if not James Cameron? Maybe something happens, but the movies are basically ready to be produced. Who directs Avatar, if not James Cameron? You go and say, George Lucas, we know you guys were friends. Finish the work.
He's
Will
on the
Ball.
track.
Will Ball.
Who?
Oh, who?
Uwe Boll.
James Wan. I think James Wan could
Yeah.
do it.
What,
He has a
what
mind
did I
for
say?
James Wan.
What was it? Cole?
Uwe Boll.
Uwe Boll. Yeah, that's him. Yeah, he should direct it. That way
I don't know
they'll
who
be
that
able to
is,
watch it.
or maybe I know the guy's work.
He's
What
the
is-
best director ever. Look up his filmography.
No.
Or anybody, or
No,
any of the
no.
Right,
directors.
Lonzo,
that
they're gonna
Asylum-
say a bunch of movies we never heard of, right?
Any
Yeah.
The way that he
director-
started that sentence, look it up the
Mhm.
filmography.
Mhm.
It's gonna be
Any
about-
director that Asylum Studio hires, do that.
I do agree with Blockhead. Steven Spielberg would do.
Yeah,
something
Steven
better.
Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg could do it. This is like right up his alley.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see Steven Spielberg doing it. I could see that.
Although, what if he brought in George Lucas? So, do you guys feel?
And look at this beautiful filmography. He'd be perfect.
George Lucas is fine as a director as long as he ain't writing the story. He should be fine.
Yes, James.
Hold on.
already
Who was the director of Showgirls?
Oh my lord, really?
So
Forget
the thing-
that director.
You might as well just have the Russo brothers.
If Avatar now expands and there's going to be an animated TV show, there's going to be a video game, there's going to be, and it's all within canon. There's going to be a Disney Plus series of like the people on Earth while the stuff is happening on Pandora. Maybe there's a whole bunch of like resistance. No, we got to save the planet. We can't be that bad. We need to
Be
coexist.
like
No,
Captain Planet.
Well, no, because
You know, I would watch that show. Can you imagine how many sympathizers there probably are on Earth? We don't gotta have this approach. That's so aggressive. We need to bend with the people. I can't wait to go there, but they'll never let me. I have to. You know how many people try to join the Navy or the Marine, excuse me, trying to get to that, or they'll never let them. They'll get weeded out. There's a story there that can happen on Earth, which is not going to be high budget. Put it on Disney Plus, and James Cameron's not going to be directing it. Somebody should. Maybe Jack Schaefer or one of those WandaVision guys.
yeah, but Chillmonger, according to the movie, Earth is dying. That's why they went back to Pandora to basically make it
Earth is
habitable
dead.
for Earth.
But can't they go to Pandora and not burn things? Like how oppressive have they been?
Well, they will need their mask just to breathe, so
Oh yeah, there's a whole
there's
thing
no
about
way they can come live there.
they have to terraform the entire planet. The whole terraforming thing is so badly thought out. But that's another issue.
Let's read some more comments before we go to the next question. Christopher Nolan.
I
Eywa
would be
boy.
good. Yes.
No, not Christopher Nolan. Please, not Christopher Nolan.
Favreau. Nah, keep Favreau in Lucasfilm right now. He's too busy fixing. Cole?
Oh no, sorry, I wasn't trying to interrupt you. That's why I was just gonna say if they did an Avatar TV show, wouldn't be any worse than that Toxic Avengers TV show. That's all.
Paul Verhoeven directed Showgirls and RoboCop.
Yeah, get him.
Whoever did Cats could do it. It would get done. In my opinion, I would go. You said James Wan, K-Dot? Let's go James Wan, yeah.
James Wan.
Steven Spielberg for me.
He's about to die.
That's fine.
Lord.
Can still
I would say
direct.
Paul Verhoeven. I like
Question 26. What percentage of the fruits on that planet can kill humans if you go and eat it? Let's look at Earth. There's a lot of berries that you don't really want to be around, poison ivy. There's danger in our forests and jungles. Not as extreme as it is over there, though. Even the air hurts. If I go, 75% of the fruits on that planet are deadly.
Nice.
To humans, I would say about 90%. Yeah.
I would say about 100%, because if the oxygen is poisonous to humans and the plants live off of that oxygen, then whatever's
That's
based off of
poison.
that oxygen is in the plants. So
Science.
every fruit should be lethal to humans,
Yeah. That's a good point, Jada.
which is why the whole thing about the terraforming doesn't work. But again, that's another side thing.
I'm with you, actually. I think we should all change our answers. Just the nature, the composition of these. But what about the water? Is the water not H2O?
Well, it has still that air we
Still
can
has
breathe.
the oxygen, but it still has the component within the air that is poisonous to humans. So it would still
Yeah.
be in the
Deadly.
water.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys
They
are
would have to
kidding me.
filter it. They would have to do a filtration system and get it out. Same thing with the oxygen.
65, 69. What's up, Superboy? Pandora is Australia in space. Everything can kill you.
Mhm.
Actually, after watching those two movies, Australia's a lot deadlier because there are plants that can kill you in Australia, and there ain't no plants that can kill you in this.
They got panthers and whales and everything. Better than the Batman. I would agree with that one for sure. Movie of the year.
I like much more the Batman than
Oh no! No! Avatar is 10 times better than the Batman. The Batman
Batman
was
is way
hot
better.
garbage.
At least the Navi would know better than to go through the front door of a bar.
Those guys are in timeout for talking trash. Number 27. When the water
Thank you.
lit up and trapped them in a ring of fire, why didn't they just dive underwater, guys? They could have just easily just went, you know what? There's fire here. There's danger. We're trapped. And let's just swim down. We'll just be on the other side. We can hold our breath for that long. We're
Good point.
the water people. What's going on here? Why? They were not actually trapped. They could have left.
Same reason Darth Vader in the Obi-Wan TV show saw the fire and went, "Oh, I'm out of here. I'm done."
So they shot it in the volume and they couldn't walk around?
Yeah,
because
they
the
just-
plot wanted them to stay there.
You see, and that's what I was going to ask, because you guys seen it more than once, right? Now, when I was watching the movie towards the end, I was like, where did everybody else go? Like, it just seemed like it was just Jake, the kids, and the girl.
Yeah, that was weird. I
like,
do.
where did
Like,
everybody
I've
go?
seen only
Fire
once
go.
this,
They just
but you make
disappeared.
a good point.
They just
Did-
randomly
was I
disappeared.
wrong for thinking that? I gotta watch
No.
it again.
No.
Nah, you was
Right.
right. You was right.
You're right.
I noticed that. I was like,
The movie
where
got
everybody
worse.
else at? I understand if like most of them died, but most of them didn't die.
Right, because they've seen them at
that whale killed a lot of them, and was doing.
So
a
I will
whole
change
bunch
my
of damage.
grade after that thought process, man. I need to know that.
It was just weird to me. Like, they're going to war, and you see the whole tribe, right? Everybody's going. Like, the pregnant woman is going, and everything. And then when the fight starts, everybody's gone. I'm like, wait a minute, where did the rest of the people go? You're muted, chill.
And they were more down to fight. Jake was talking them down, saying, "No, this is not the answer. Hold on, guys."
Right.
They were the ones who were all aggressive, and they were all talk, just like in real life. The guy who's beaking the most is probably the one that you don't want in your corner. You want that silent, strong type.
So what you're saying, Chill? They seen all the ships and stuff for the humans and said, okay, no, we'll leave Jake and them to do this themselves. Let's get here, guys.
He got his daughter back and he was fine. He's like, bye.
Yeah.
Question number 28 of 33 burning Avatar questions. When alone and no one is there to listen, does Jake Sully stroll Pandora humming, I'm blue?
No.
Yeah, he does. It happens. That's 100% canon. He's blue. That song is a hit song. I know this takes place in the future, but in the future, people will know that song. And people will do more covers of that song. And when you're actually blue, it's going to cross your mind. You're going to be like,
I mean, it would have
Don't think
improved the
so.
music in this film.
he sings that to himself. Chillmonger says true. And it's not a true or false question, but I still say that it's true. And no one can change my mind about this. This is factual. Might as well just be canon. They put it in a comic or something. He sings that song to himself.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of blue, though, do you think people who are colorblind can see the film better? Because usually they can see the color blue. That's like the one color they can usually see.
They can see like all the tones of blue. So basically, the light-skinned blue people and the dark blue people, they could tell.
Not really as much tones, but they can see blue out of like all colors usually.
Yeah,
Maybe there was a thought process behind
that's
that.
true because I'm colorblind and I could differentiate both tone of blue.
Interesting.
Did you know he was colorblind before you asked that, Cole? Was that like a layup? I mean, like an alley-oop?
Oh no, I didn't even know that. Yeah.
There we go. Next question of 33 burning. 29. Which franchise has claims to Avatar in your heart? To me, it's always going to be about the air bending, fire bending. When I think of Avatar, that's my Avatar. Is it the blue people or is it the Nickelodeon people? Anzo, you're not that. You weren't into the Avatar Last Airbender, were you?
No, I was not.
So you were
No.
not watching. Your answer is probably going to be James Cameron Avatar.
No, my answer is still the original Avatar because I hated the fact that when they made the movie, like he wasn't allowed to use the name of the actual show. He had to change it to something else because of James Cameron's Avatar movie. So screw him.
You just don't like a bully.
Yeah, screw him.
I think
Did-
that's the Last Airbender, the true franchise that claimed.
To Avatar name, it is. It's the Last Airbender is the real one.
I
James
gotta
Cameron
know.
just did what he does all the time and copies other people's stuff.
They don't say Avatar quite as much in the Blue People movie as they do in the actual show. Avatar is very constant. So even by that standards, it's totally Avatar, bro. It's totally Nickelodeon, Aang, Katara, all those
Yeah.
guys. Do you know any
Mhm.
of the characters, Anzo, or you just know that there's an Avatar
No.
with an arrow?
Well, I seen the movie, right? That's my pretty much most of what I know of Avatar. And yeah, that movie was hot garbage, so I didn't even think about watching the anime. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Why are no black people in Avatar The Last Airbender? The Fire Tribe be Fire Tribe. Me on We holds a special place.
The Mies. You don't know what the Mies are? Those are your
Oh,
avatars.
those are avatars.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
you're right,
avatars.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
30.
Yeah, I used to like my me, man.
How do you die from inhaling the air? What's the process? I know it's dangerous, but when you inhale the air, does your eye pop out? Does it result in an extra foot growing? What is it?
If I remember correctly, from the first Avatar movie, the Colonel goes, for 30 seconds, you're unconscious. After 30 seconds, you're unconscious. It actually explains it in the first Avatar movie. Like after 30 seconds, you lose consciousness,
does.
and then you do convulsions and stuff like that. I can't remember exactly, but it's explained in the first one.
But that's funny because at some point the boat is destroyed and some people don't wear the mask and they
Yeah.
still live long enough. I'm like,
Yeah,
what
there's-
happened there? What
Well, no,
happened
because
to
even in
here?
the first movie, there was that one scene where I forget the actress's name is Rodriguez. She steals one of the helicopters, and he goes out. He takes a deep breath, and he
Mhm.
walks out. And then one of his other soldiers come in and give him a mask. So for like 30 seconds, he's like breathing and he's fine, but then he has to put the mask on.
Yeah.
Or was he holding his breath for that full?
I think he
30
was.
seconds?
I can't remember if he was holding his breath
think
or
he was
not.
holding
It's
his
been a
breath.
while since I saw, but I remember that one.
But I know I've seen a video and I just can't remember it right now. But they did talk about the inconsistencies of the breathing in that point. I just can't remember what he was saying. But there are some.
I mean, what would be the equivalent of it, though?
Quatric should have died. Like he should have drowned and died. I get it. Navi are a lot more durable, but he should have drowned and died. He was under there for at least like more than 5 minutes.
Yeah,
He should have died.
that's
It's
true.
similar to carbon dioxide poisoning. There's more carbon in the air than there is oxygen.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, yo, let's just take it from the first movie, like Jaded Fanboy said. Didn't actually know. I need to do my research, but I guess there's an answer to the question of how exactly you are going to die. And 31 is, who was the main character of the sequel? That's a tough question.
The
It was a
family.
family ensemble. And I would say every
was a
time
family.
we saw Jake, it was in the perspective of the kids. Like when he asked the kids, oh, how did the other guys look? Well, the main character wouldn't be asking that. The main characters are the guys who actually got in the fight. The camera followed them. Every time we saw Jake,
I'll say it was Jake and his son, Jake and Loak, because majority of the movie you're following them. You're following Loak on his own little journey, doing his own little thing. Jake in the first act.
I don't give it to Loak.
And then he
I don't
leaves
give
the
it to
third act
Jake.
again.
I mean,
Loak
I think
was
it's
the
just
main
all three of
character.
the kids, really.
Loak was the main
I
character.
think it was more of an ensemble.
No.
Yeah.
No,
I think
if-
it was
if
just
you-
all the kids, kind of. Besides
No,
the one, which
I
is
know
why it was
for-
obvious he was going to die.
Well, I haven't seen it again, but I know you spend more time with Jake's son, the one that was friends with the whale, than anyone else.
Loak.
So,
That's Loak.
Yeah.
It seems
and
So I
alone.
give it to him. Yeah.
And certain sections of the movie are literally focusing on certain characters. So it's like you'll have like 20 minutes and it's about this character. And then I'd say it's more of an ensemble piece.
Yeah, it's an ensemble. I'm with Jaden on that one.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? The main character of the sequel is between two things, either the
Here we
plot
go.
armor or the plot holes.
I know, right? Like, before he starts, we know what's coming.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
know.
Here we go. And then he stops and stutters, and we're like, oh, he's gonna repeat his words. Okay.
Yeah.
it's gonna
I
be-
mean, did
the
anybody
two
else
main-
have an issue with that, though? With how it was so obvious that one character is going to die because he was like the only kid they didn't highlight throughout the film?
Yeah,
No.
I think that was obvious.
Actually, I was
Yeah.
surprised.
I was surprised anybody died. To be
Me
quite honest.
too. I was like,
The
how
way
did
they
you
were
lose?
avoiding danger the whole entire movie, I thought they were just invincible. So yeah, the death did surprise me, and it wasn't that even special. So he just kind of got shot by a stray bullet. I noticed him getting shot, and I'm like, did he get shot? Oh, probably not. They're not addressing it. And then later on, oh, he did
Well,
get shot.
It did took a long time before realizing he lost blood and he was swimming. So
He knew right away. I think that everyone else around didn't know. He acted like he was shot. Watch it again. You'll see that he swam slowly. He was in pain. He was just behind the main character.
maybe he didn't
Loa.
realize, but
He realized.
he was in pain, but he didn't realize why. That's what I was getting from my only view.
And we don't even know who shot him. How you not gonna tell the people who to be mad at the next movie? I want to know the guy who shot Netayem. The same way that Courage, the colonel, was really mad that it was Neytiri who got him with the arrow. Figured out, oh, the arrow, that's her calling card. Okay, I know who that is. And then there's motivation there. I'd like to know which bad guy actually killed one of the
Well,
main
I think
characters.
that's why they said they'll just take the fight because at them as a whole, because they wasn't just like one they showed who shot him, I guess. So.
Well, you're depriving yourselves from a really emotional scene coming up when
Yeah, well, I mean that's why this is kind of a corporate soulless sequel, but I mean still all right, I guess.
you can't call it corporate soulless. It took 14 years to come out.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, for
It
money.
doesn't matter how long it
Money.
took.
Doesn't
The final
matter.
product tells everything.
It's all right. Like the first that aged poorly, but still all right with heart. You know, they're both all right, but yeah.
I think it was entertaining at best for me.
I
Which
agree.
movie is better, Avatar 2 or Waterworld with Kevin
Waterworld.
Costner?
Waterworld.
What?
Yeah, Waterworld at least
I will
put
take
some
Waterworld.
effort into the design.
You
Yeah.
guys are out of your mind if you think Waterworld is better than this. Waterworld
Yeah, that's
was
way more fascinating world building. Come on.
Waterworld was a flop. It was garbage. That movie was trash.
I'm actually curious to see Waterworld.
No, you don't.
Don't. It's not that good a movie.
Why didn't they bury Colonel Quaritch? Can I just for a second before we answer this? I have a beef with the word down there, Colonel. It's so complicated. I'm sure an American came up with its spelling. Colonel.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like how it's spelled.
It's terrible. Okay,
Well,
Quaritch.
I didn't
You mean like the word sugar?
Sugar. You're right.
There's-
I
yeah,
accepted
need to
that
be
one
H
though.
somewhere.
Yeah, so anyways, the question was about him not being buried. I guess there's really no love for it, but you would have to think tactically if Jake Sully is such a smart guy. You probably should do away with the evidence of what happened. Just like there's no reason why you would allow for
They didn't
humans
really
to
know where it was at, though, did they? It was
No,
kind of
Jake
in the
knew where it
middle of
was
nowhere
because
while
when
they
the kids were
fighting.
telling him where exactly he was,
Jake and his kids.
He told them to move.
Oh,
he
okay, I
couldn't
see.
move them.
Jake knew where it was, and Jake
I
probably
feel
should have
like
got
he
rid.
probably
He got comfortable.
they
He thought they
definitely-
would never return.
they definitely passed by there. Or he told them like, had this battle over here, blah blah blah. Don't ever go over there or whatever.
Yeah, don't ever go there.
because they knew the battle, the war they had with the humans first time happened in this area.
Well, it's
But
kind
he
of like
told
how they
them,
leave Mount
don't go to
Everest
the bunker. He
bodies.
told them-
What do they do with Mount Everest bodies?
Well, to kind of leave them there, a lot of them, yeah. And they
As a warning?
tell stories and use them as like checkpoints.
Oh, I don't agree with that. I think you got to take those Mount Everest bodies and treat the people like
A
they're
lot,
people.
lot of families, say just leave it there.
Oh well, if the climber consented to it as some sort of like legacy thing, fine, I guess so.
Yeah.
To me though, you do got to bury the body, and it was so weird to see Quaritch look at his former body, take the skull, hold it up Hamlet style, and crush it. That shows you how warped he is in here. That is a villain. That was good villainy stuff from Cameron. That was good writing.
I say maybe they thought, some of the creatures would devour the body, some of the animals on the planet. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, feed the Eywa. Yeah, you gotta feed it.
Yeah, pretty much.
It made for a good scene though, but unfortunately, it indicated exactly how he died. Colonel Brody is going to be used as the new RoboCop in RoboCop 4 by Brie Larson. I already
And
don't
what are
want to read
these
this.
random comments?
From black-headed blocks, right? Like, what's going on with you, blockhead?
He's
Is
living
that
Final-
the accounts you talked about before about randomly saying these questions?
It's the same guy, just probably a different name. We are at 32. Did everyone answer this one, or are we multi-topic? You didn't say so. Why didn't they bury Quaritch?
I honestly don't know. I don't even know.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
it the villain from the first movie?
He
Yeah.
was,
Yeah.
but they put him in an
Yeah.
avatar body.
I don't know.
There was a lot of dead soldiers there, so I don't even know if they even gathered the other soldiers that died as well.
right.
Yeah, they don't
Most
care
of
about
the
these
bodies-
The
guys.
colonel wasn't the only one that died.
And most of their bodies are decomposed anyways. It's like,
And
they
they
didn't
said-
think the humans were going to come back. They thought,
Right.
they don't.
They sent all the humans off the planet, so they wouldn't do it, right? Most of them, anyways. And the Navi, they don't care about their enemy. They're like, just leave them there.
And just leave them there.
Maybe they didn't want to spend fire on it.
They should have burned it, that's for sure. At least maybe not buried it, but burned it. I can agree with that.
You were just talking about getting yourself cremated, right?
Who, me? Yeah, absolutely.
Where were you talking about that? Why did that come up?
It was on a stream we were talking about, and I was like, no, I don't want to be buried. I want to be cremated.
Was that one of our night streams? I think Jada was on there. Nerdman was there.
Yeah,
Chill was there too. Yeah, Chill was
If
there.
it was a
I was
stream that
game-
I was on, it was a long time ago.
No,
It
this
was like
was recent.
It was a stream
Yeah,
I was game streaming. It was at night. Chill was there. Nerdman was there. They was arguing about James Gunn and DC and shit. Yeah, we thought about it on that stream.
Basically, we stream a lot. It's Big Ford Entertainment every Wednesday. You guys check them out and tune in evenings. The Jaded Fanboy will be there to piss you off if you need to be pissed off. Cole, you can find Cole
In fact,
especially on MSK's YouTube channel. K-Dot's
No, not much anymore. Taking a break.
Okay.
But you can find Cole on our weekly podcast.
Yeah.
The Red Blue Pod.
Over
It's
on
what I
Multi,
usually do because it works with my schedule. So yeah.
Yeah.
most certainly.
Or on one of my tournaments, pretty much trashing everything
Oh
good
yeah.
like it does.
They're being a little disturber on those tournaments.
Oh yeah, I
Always
cannot wait
voting
for
for
the
the
animated film
underdog.
tournament because I'm gonna trash that so hard the
Next
choices.
Friday.
And we
Yes,
got
and if
Kate out as
if
well.
I complain too much, then yeah.
Subscribe to SSJK.Sanctum because that's where we talk Attack on Titan, Mandalorian. We just did a whole bunch over there. So check me out and check him out on the same channel. The final question of 33 burning Avatar questions. Where was T'Challa?
Oh my
Nowhere to be
god.
found.
Disney doesn't want to put him in
Nowhere to
anything.
be seen. He should have been recasted in this movie. Obviously,
Easily.
Lord.
should have recasted him. Recast T'Challa. Recast T'Challa.
Yeah, they
did
could have used
that.
CGI T'Challa, like Layla. Or
Chill
Leia.
did that on purpose. He knew I was coming on here. He's like, you know what? Let me just get one in today. Here
Have
we
to throw
go.
that in there. Recast
Also-
T'Challa.
This is a real question, though. This one is for real. If an Avatar actor dies, is it fair to recast? I didn't put the
Yeah.
word die in my question. I spelled it wrong. Anyways, but if someone
they're
from Avatar,
human,
one of the blue ones, though, one of the guys who are like not Loak, Kiri,
yeah, you
we
can
don't
get
we don't
you
wish
can get away
anything,
with
but if
it.
they're
You can get
unable
away with it.
with
As
Jake
long as
Sully,
they sound like the previous act, like there's people who can do great impressions of other people, mimic their voices and stuff. As long as you can find someone that can do that, yes. But if
Yeah,
it's
you
like
can
one of the
easily-
human characters, you're better off like just writing them out or killing them off or something. Not killing them
old
off,
is
like
Stephen
writing them
Oh,
Lang?
out.
like they did with
Don't
T'Challa.
But
Interesting.
is
I
any of the
think it's fair to recast anybody, to be honest. Like, let the character live on, regardless of the actor. The actor is just a way to give you the character.
Right, because if you let's say if you kill, if I don't want this to happen, but the actor who plays Loak, he passes away. I don't want that to happen. Just saying hypothetically, Loak's story ain't done. You need to finish his story. Like we're
right?
right.
None of these characters are essential. You can if any of these actors die,
movies, yeah.
if any of these actors die and they go, okay, well, we can't do Loak's storyline anymore, they'll just replace it with somebody else. These aren't T'Challa. These are
No, they
disposable
don't
characters.
need to be T'Challa just for a story to make sense. Like let's just
Yeah.
go off.
Why
the story
start
making
now?
sense.
Why pretend to start now?
Or if
it's fine. They'll just have him die from a cold.
If the story's about following these kids now, and one of the actors die and they kill off the kid, then no,
that kid dies, and then just do the other stories, and they introduce.
They follow the other kids.
Nah,
They just
That makes no sense.
I'd rather have
character.
consistency. You already set it up, finish it out.
Yeah, it makes so much sense to have
or
him
don't
die
even
from
finish it at all.
sickness.
Finish what you started.
but they don't have comics that they got to adapt. There's no Secret Wars or something that they culminate that have T'Challa in it in the comics.
The original source material for this property.
Yeah.
There isn't, and that's what
They can make it make sense, and sure, but I think it would be better just to recast like that. Stephen Lane's like 70; he could die.
Yeah.
I'm always going to be in favor. And Stephen Lang is the guy who plays Quaritch, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, he plays the villain.
Yeah.
So I'm always in favor of continuing the story. Recasting is totally fine. The audience will just have to accept that the character looks different. But when it comes to the avatars or the Navi, like the actual blue people who already look different, I mean,
I'll be honest,
it looks the exact same.
They wouldn't even notice.
You wouldn't even notice. Maybe the voice would be a little off.
Still, I can play Jake's avatar, but it will still look like Jake. I'll just have to sound like Jake.
Exactly.
It's all CGI and stuff. They can put a fat man in the same mocap just to play Jake, but he won't be fat in the movie. He'll be fat in the mocap.
That's right.
Technology.
Right. And supposedly, like, since I've been going down this little rabbit hole, some of these contracts, they pretty much tell you that they own your likeness, right? Dave Chappelle talks about it. They say they own your likeness in any universe. So the fact that they only use the likeness for the blue avatars, they can still use it and just have someone voice it different. Someone voice it. So
It was in some recent movie where some actor died. They was able to pull the with the Luke Skywalker when they did the CGI for him. They used old dialogue from the previous movies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever new technology got today to take some dialogue, put it together, and have this new AI automated person speaking.
Well, they pretty much paid for James Earl Jones' voice right?
Yeah.
So they can use his voice anytime they
I'm
want to.
so happy they got that taken care of and pinned, and everything is now in order. We can have Darth Vader with the Darth Vader voice and not worry about, well, this is not respectful to the family. No, James Earl Jones said, we're good. Continue.
He signed off on it.
Mhm.
Does he get a royalty or is it just like a one-time lump?
No, he'll get royalties.
No, there's always the royalties.
Shout out to his
Always.
family who are now going to benefit. This is just a great thing to happen. Now the thing is,
Absolutely.
like, money and inflation is going to devalue the amount of money, so that's probably why they agreed to it so easily. And plus, who knows? We might be using crypto.
Well, no, it's always a percentage. It's always a
It's
percentage.
percentage?
So yeah, so no matter how much money or how little it makes, it's always still a percentage.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
Yeah.
he wins the gross earnings. That's all you got to say, is have the words.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
you know,
what it is.
the
I
best
didn't
thing
know
about
the
it,
term
though, you know what that is?
Hmm.
And that now officially, his last movie credit will not be the shitty Lion King 2019, so that's good.
It's always okay to recast, and always has been okay. What they did with T'Challa was the exception to the rule. I would agree with that one, Kenny.
Uh,
But
no,
Kenny's
It's
no.
wrong, I think.
No, they did not need to have that actor who was in the Batman and Robin movie. They did not have to have that actor.
I'm all about continuing. That's my opinion. Kenny knows this. That's the reason he watches my channel, for all the T'Challa stuff, and that's probably like the uniting thing that got myself and all the other YouTubers I've been interacting with lately. I really haven't been finding people I disagree with. Which is probably the wrong thing to do. You guys know any bad YouTubers? Let me invite some of them on.
Well, you hold on. You're looking for a YouTuber that will disagree with most people. Yeah, I can't think of anybody. I can't think of anybody.
But I found you, like, we met 2 years ago now. Like, it's been a while.
And I disagree with you
And I
on
already
that.
knew you. I already knew you for the T'Challa disagreement. So it's not like,
True.
you think we'd be boys? You think I would ever invite you to this YouTube channel? You should.
Oh, so what? Because I don't agree with you on the T'Challa stuff, you wouldn't invite me to the channel? Wow.
Echo chambers are sketchy. That's true. So yeah, yo, thanks everyone for watching. I'm gonna go catch Pokemon because it is the Larvitar Community Day. Does that mean anything to anybody here?
No.
No.
Well,
You
it
see-
means nothing to me. That's about it.
You see, Chillmonger, we all like grew up and stopped watching Pokemon like 20 years ago.
You never watched it to
Facts.
begin with.
You called it Pokemon. It's
Yeah, I
Pocky
did call you
Monsters.
Pokemon. That's right.
I'll take like for Mike's from Mars over it.
K-Dot is going to be doing a stream referring to all of the Jason Momoa news topics, speculation topics, Lobo topics, Aquaman topics. When are you going to be doing that?
Be Lobo. Please make him be Lobo.
Well, I'm gonna start in like, well, since you're about to get ready to end, I'll start at like 12 p.m.
What does that mean? Does that mean 15 minutes from now? Yeah.
Well, it's 11:43 now, so 12 p.m.
All right, guys.
It's
check him out.
11:43 our time Pacific.
His channel is spelt exactly that way. If it's the first time checking out K-Dot's channel, probably not. But if it is, make sure it's on the Jason Momoa topic. I've been Chillmonger. This has been 33. Burning Avatar questions. The disrespect. Toodles.
Peace.